guys, 00XX40 Sonic KR1 here, and in this video today we are doing our first video on Sonic Frontiers. So we are doing our first video on Sonic Frontiers here, and in this video I'm going to give you guys some tips and pointers on how to get good at the game, because these can really help. First of all, you got to take care of this. And yeah, there you go. So, let's get started with our first tip. So I'm going to do this one right off the bat here. Now, the first tip, which I found really useful, especially if you really need this, which I'm sure a lot of people do, is I know you get really bored because you get really annoyed because that boost meter runs out. If you don't know this already, you may. To get infinite boost, all you have to do is with your Psyloop, hold down X if you're on the Switch, and you hold down X and draw an infinity symbol, and you get infinite boost. Let's see if I can zoom that in there. So, but there you go. You can see you have an infinite boost symbol there, and that is a really good way to just keep on going in the game, because obviously it does have a cooldown. It does stop after a while. I'm gonna try to avoid all enemies at costs. And yeah, and another pointer that that's pretty important while I'm running around here in this world. Oh no, that was my fault. Sorry about that. Another good pointer is what I'm doing right now. Just make circles with your Psyloop, and it's really important in battle, because you may lose rings like I'm about to here. You may lose rings. So a good way is to just draw a circle with your Psyloop, and then you can instantly get rings, and they instantly magnet to you. And then you can go back to fighting your enemies. And obviously my skill tree is pretty good right now. Let's have a look at it. So right now my skill tree is pretty good. I've unlocked quite a bit. I've only got 3 moves left to learn. But skill points are really important too, guys. Make sure, this is another tip, make sure that you guys are picking up your skill points when you are facing enemies, because they are extremely important. Same with the memory tokens for your friends to save, and also with your portal keys and stuff. Your keys and also your portal fragments to unlock yourself going through cyberspace levels. And speaking of cyberspace, in the next Sonic Frontiers video, I'm going to be doing every single cyberspace level. I forgot what island this is called. Let me just beat this guy right now. And there we go. So this island is called Kronos Island. I'll do everything on Kronos because I have 100%ed the mapping of Kronos Island. I have done the Supersonic boss fight. I may do that in another video. I may do the Supersonic in another video. But we will see, guys. We will see. And yes, another tip is to use your Psyloop mostly when you're facing enemies, because it does help. And another tip that is really good is using a variety of moves to defeat your enemies, because it does help. Because I'm using this move right now. But obviously he was on shield, so it obviously... Yeah, so see, Psyloop does break the barriers or the shields off enemies, and then you can easily just defeat them. Yeah, and obviously different enemies will drop different items. So this one drops skill points. Make sure you pick those up, because if you see in the bottom right of my screen, it should say number 17. That is your skill point meter. So right now I'm aiming for 30, I'm pretty sure, to get my next move. And yeah, and make sure you use your moves pretty frequently, because it gets really they get really important in the near future. So those are some tips. Let's see if I can find any more. Okay, so a cool tip I can mention here, or a really useful one, is that I actually have 2. One, picking up your blue seeds of defense and your red seeds for attack, and picking up your Cocos are extremely important, because they boost Sonic's strength, his defense, and they also boost his... Well, the Cocos also boost his ring energy and his speed. Now, right now, what I can think of is the most powerful, the most used point of skill in Sonic Frontiers is definitely the strength, because you are fighting enemies half the time. And yeah, that's why those are important. And the second thing that I wanted to say is doing your missions. These are also important, because if you guys can see here on my Kronos Island map, I have completed pretty much everything. I've mapped the entire thing. Let's zoom out a little bit. But yes, I've mapped the entire thing here, as you guys can see. And once you do map the entire thing, you unlock other skills like you'll get the ability to quick travel to portals, so you don't have to just run there, which is really, really useful. And also you'll get the ability to quick travel to your Elder Cocos and all that. So that is another tip that is really important, and also if you want to waste time, those are really good, because the more you get done, the quicker you get done with the mapping, and that's what gets really important, and that's how you get to quick travel. Oh, sorry, I was just fighting this enemy, and I just like end up like losing all my rings. But yeah, rings are also really important. And also make sure you guys try your best to get your Phantom Rush, because once you get your Phantom Rush, your life becomes a lot easier when you're fighting. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video, because that's pretty much all I can think of. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. These are some quick tips to get you going in Sonic Frontiers. I am currently playing on the Nintendo Switch, but it's also available on the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox, and PC. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys check out Sonic Frontiers, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!